More new faces joining MLS. Johnny B finds his form for Tigres, and it's time for the power rankings preseason style, next on The Daily. Hey everyone, Greg Lawless and Andrew Wiebe from MLSsoccer.com here. And the international transfer window is closed, but the MLS transfer window is still open and the names keep coming in. We're going to start with DC United, who have signed Albanian international Hamdi Salihi as their second designated player.
Yeah, he's not exactly a household name here in MLS, but a guy that's produced in Europe for the last 10 or so seasons. The last 3 were at Rapid Vienna. 53 goals in 90 appearances, so a good return there. They'll look to partner him up top with Josh Wolf from Maicon Santos. Got to replace those goals that Charlie Davies scored.
Well, Salihi was a teammate of DC United midfielder Branko Boskovic. We'll see if they can link up again with what looks to maybe be a pretty good attack for United when you also consider Dwayne De Rosario is there and Andy Nahar out on the outside. Plus, Chris Pontius may be healthy by the summer. Let's move up the coast a little bit, where New England Revolution have seemingly found that number 9 they've been looking for. Another Colombian joining the league, Jose Moreno.
Yeah, and Jay Heap said they've been looking at him for a couple months. They spotted him on a scouting trip down there. Couldn't get him to negotiate until after Christmas, but a guy they'll look to run the offense off of there. He thinks he's a true number 10.
Well, he was with Once Caldas last year. And another Colombian out in San Jose, Trezor Moreno, a number 10, that attacking midfielder they've been looking for.
Yeah, a guy that can pull the strings. Frankie Alp tends to like the older guys. Giovanni, we saw, also Andre Luis. He said he's not fit right now, but they're going to round him into shape through this preseason. Hopefully he'll be the fulcrum for them in that attack.
And considering that we're still not sure what's going on with Simon Dawkins, it looks like Moreno could be that guy in the middle for them. Now, who's going to be in the middle of the back for the LA Galaxy? That's the rumor going on right now about who will replace Omar Gonzalez. There is a player that they're looking at right now, a Panamanian center back.
Yeah, a guy named Roman Torres. He's a guy who's experienced with the Panamanian national team, over 30 caps for them. He is not Omar Gonzalez, though. He's not your 6'4" hulking guy that's going to win all the headers. 5'11" or so, but plenty of experience. See if they can partner him back there with whoever they decide ends up being there.
Well, if Leonardo gets healthy, that would be their hulking guy. Maybe Torres could be that skill guy next to him. The MLS transfer window won't close until April 15th, so you should expect a couple more signings before then. On Thursday, MLSsoccer.com revealed their first power rankings of 2012, the preseason power rankings, and there was lots of movement in this one and some surprises. What surprised you?
Yeah, the biggest surprise for me, Toronto FC down at number 16. I think the way that they played at the end of the last season and really improved says a lot, but if you have a full season of Torsten Frings, a full season of Danny Kovermans, those guys are going to produce and they're going to pick up the game of everybody around them.
Well, some surprises for me. Chicago jumping way up to number 5. Yes, they have made some player movements. They've gotten a couple of new players in, although we haven't really seen them play yet. But I think the biggest thing there is that Frank Klopas seems to have instilled a different type of attitude there. And the other one, of course, the Philadelphia Union dropping a lot.
Yeah, and it's a little bit predictable at this point. You have Madrigal and Latou, they're shining lights offensively and defensively last year. They're going to rely on youth. We'll see how that youth kind of comes into form and blossoms. Well,
you can check out the power rankings on MLSsoccer.com. And speaking of the Philadelphia Union, we had ex-Union player Sebastian Latou on the Extra Time Radio podcast yesterday. You can download that on iTunes or on Buzzsprout, or check out MLSsoccer.com/extratime. He had some interesting things to say in the follow-up to his trade to Vancouver. Some of it seems to have tamped down a little bit of the emotion.
Yeah, I think at this point he's moved on. He wants to be in Vancouver at this point. I think he didn't back down, though. He didn't say, I'm sorry about saying these things. That's how he feels, and it'll be interesting when they meet early in the season.
One of the interesting moments was when he discussed whether he has an agent or not. So make sure you check that out. You can subscribe on iTunes or Buzzsprout. Outside the United States and Canada, there was some action on Thursday, and we'll start actually in Italy, where Chievo got a victory over Novara. Michael Bradley went 90 minutes in that one. But the big news coming from Copa Libertadores, where Jonathan Bornstein and Tigres had a big match.
Yeah, he's been much maligned here in the U.S. has left-back performances in the World Cup, but he played center mid for them in this game. Did very well. Very glowing reviews. Unfortunately, he won't be able to continue that in the Copa Libertadores. They lost, so he'll have to try to convince his manager there that he can do it in Liga Mexicana. It
was actually a 2-2 draw between Tigres and Unión Española from Chile, but they lost in the series. In some more American export news, Timmy Chandler and Nuremberg will be playing Borussia Dortmund today. You can catch that on Goal TV at 2:30 p.m. And over the weekend, it's going to be Landon Donovan, Everton at Wigan Athletic. And also, Bolton will be playing against Norwich. Could we see the debut for Tim Ream for Wanderers? We'll find out. Check all that out over the weekend. That's it for The Daily. We'll talk to you next week.